The fortune is in the follow-up, and most real estate agents and most salespeople, they don't do enough follow-up. We know conversion happens at a higher percentage after 6 attempts. Real estate agents, on average, follow up 2.7 times. So on top of that, it's not just following up or checking in. There's value-based follow-up that can help you when engaging with prospects. I'm going to give you 6 different ways you can deliver value and create engagement that matters and will move the needle next. And if you like what you hear, you get some value out of this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call to talk about your business or your real estate needs, click on the link in the comments. So the most effective strategies when engaging with people in follow-up. One of the worst things you can do is saying, "Hey, Wendy, I'm checking in. How are you?" Because all you're doing is you're checking in to see if they're ready. Here's what are going to be much more effective ways for you as a salesperson, you as a real estate agent, to create engagement. The first is going to be leveraging local market information. What are the trends in their town, in their city, in their school district? Is there a piece of sales data or a new home offering that a prospect or a client should be aware of? That will get people excited. They want to know what's going on in the local market, and real estate is super local. So using your MLS to determine what's happening in the zip code, the township, the town, the city, the school district, however your market is searched and divided, that's what you want to understand, and you got to know those stats cold. So local market information is going to be strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, highlighting relevant trends in home sales. Average days on market is this, for an example. The average list to sales price ratio is this. We're seeing for homes in this price point that the majority of people are waiving inspections, right? All these trends that we're talking about, knowing the local market stats, are going to be really, really effective, because when you can share the trends and show that, hey, with a home with a septic system, you can get a septic inspection. Where there's a home with stucco, you can get a stucco inspection. Those are things people will want to know. What are the trends in home sales right now? How many homes do you have to look at to find something you want to make an offer on? What's the average amount of homes buyers are looking at? All this data is available on your MLS, on places like the NowBAM website. Look at Housing Wire or Lance Lambert's Resi Club. All these trends are there, and the trends will help you navigate and guide home buyers and sellers through the process. That's going to be number 2. Number 3, determine their motivation and their time frame. If a prospect is not motivated, it may not be worth following up with them, to be very clear. So if you don't use things like the time frame, they're looking in the next year, their motivation is X, now you know some things and you can follow up appropriately instead of over following up or aggressively or turning them off with the cadence that you're using to stay in touch with people. So once you determine that motivation and the time frame, you're going to be in much better shape. Number 4 is playing the long game. Hey, real estate agents, you don't think long-term enough. I'm telling you right now. People hear that someone wants to buy or sell in a year. That gets me excited. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be here before we know it. Let's start nurturing them, because 1, a year could mean 6 months. We see people move their time frames up all the time for the right opportunity. And secondly, I'm not doing anything else. I don't have a backup plan here. So this is the only thing I'm going to be doing, and the people that follow up long-term win. If you can be the first person to meet with somebody, you've got a 70+% chance of getting hired. These are NAR statistics. So if you hear a year, 2 years, 3 years, all good, that's the stuff you want to be aware of. Don't give up if they have a longer time frame. That's where all the money's at, because then if you're delivering value, you're exceeding expectations in your interaction with these folks, they're not going to interview other agents, and you're in the right spot to earn and win the business. Number 5, understanding the financing process. I can't tell you how many times home buyers have said, I think I need 20% down, or real estate agents have said the same thing. Are you kidding me? That is malpractice. You've got to know all the financing programs in your area, where rates are coming in. Are there any first-time buyer grants? We have things like K-Fit here in the greater Philadelphia area. So you got to know all the options for people so that they're able to look at all their options and maybe get a home when someone else isn't educating them at the same level. And number 6, realize that getting the appointment is the biggest benchmark. Whoever goes on the most appointments is going to sell the most houses. That's the number one indicator for everybody. So all your follow-up is with the goal of getting in front of them. Real estate agents, realtors, they all say, I'm better in person. Great. What are you doing to get in person more often? The more appointments you can set, that's the biggest benchmark. That's a huge win. If you can do that, you're going to move more people through the funnel. But don't use the lazy follow-up. Don't use the check-in follow-up. Use the relevant follow-up when engaging.